Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So last week I shared with you the story of how I'd been able to earn several $1,000s while I was on vacation, not working. And I told you that I was thinking about maybe doing a tutorial for you on how to actually build a sales funnel, an automated evergreen sales funnel like I was talking about in that video, so that you could use the same strategy for your business, so you could start making sales and earning income around the clock, whether you're working or not. And a lot of you seemed to really like that video and it got a lot of likes, so that is what I'm doing in today's video. We are going to draw out a sales funnel and I'm going to walk you through how you can set up each of the different parts of the process so that you can start using this strategy in your own business. Okay, so let's get right on into it. The very first thing that, of course, you will need is some sort of product. So this is something that you are going to sell, and when you sell it, you earn money. For this to work very well, you need your product to be something that you can sell whether you're working or not. It needs to be something that can be delivered automatically. So most of the time, this is going to be some sort of digital product, like a course or a membership site, although it could be a service that maybe your team is providing to your customer. So not a service you have to do yourself, but a service that someone else in your company can deliver to the customer. Or it could be a physical product if you have a fulfillment company that can ship it, or people on your team who can ship it out to your customer. But that's the very first thing you need, is just some sort of product that you can sell. Now, beyond that, we've got this whole sales funnel going on. Now, maybe you've seen a graph like this before, but I'm going to walk you through how you can set up each of these pieces of the sales funnel and some ideas also for how you can improve them. I'm really going to get into that more in the second part of the video. I've got 4 tips on how you can optimize this sales funnel to produce the biggest results for your business that it possibly can. Okay, so starting out, we talked about that first thing that you need, which is the thing that's at the very bottom of the sales funnel, the product. But now we're gonna come back up to the top and talk about the biggest thing that you need, because this is going to be really the first thing that you do as you're trying to send people through the sales funnel. And that is traffic, otherwise known as visibility or exposure. If people don't know that your product exists, if they don't know you exist, if they don't know your business exists, then they can never go through this process to eventually buy this thing that you want to sell them. You can't like jump them down here. They have to hear about you first. Now, there are tons of different ways that you can get visibility for your business. A couple of my favorite ways to get visibility for your business are YouTube and then being a guest. Now, the reason that I love these two is because both of these give you the opportunity to reach a large number of people all at once. So with YouTube, there is this incredible algorithm. I know you guys have probably heard me talk about this before, but the YouTube algorithm is designed to match viewers with videos that they want to watch. So basically, if you make videos that share your expertise, that show what your business does, how it helps customers, and are helpful, interesting videos in the process, then YouTube is going to push those videos out to the people who are most interested in them. And you can actually get paid to advertise your business on YouTube. So basically, YouTube is a way that you can spread the message about your business in a viral way, so that instead of one person at a time finding out about what you have to offer, what you do, instead hundreds or thousands of people will find out about it all at once because of how amazing the algorithm is. And then being a guest, and what I mean by this is being a guest blogger on someone else's blog or being a guest on someone's podcast. What's really cool about this is that you get the opportunity to be found by someone else's audience. So someone else has already done all the work of building an audience on social media or with ads or however they've done it. They've accumulated a group of thousands of people that are all interested in a certain topic. And so if that podcast or that blog is a good fit for your business, so if their audience is your target customers, then if you get on their show and you share helpful information with them as a guest, then you'll get to reach those thousands of people all at once, again, instead of reaching one person at a time. So obviously there are tons of other visibility strategies. So many people are using other social media platforms or paid advertising, but whatever it is, you need some sort of traffic strategy because people have to find out about your business before they can eventually buy that product. Step number 2 of this sales funnel is that you need some sort of lead gen strategy. So basically, this is where you are taking these people who have found out about your business and you are moving them forward towards a sale. You're starting to build a relationship with them. So you're asking them to opt into your email list, opt into following you on social media. They've discovered you, but they need to start following you, or else you're not going to get the opportunity to build that relationship with them further, give them more information about how your product can help them. Now, there are lots of different ways, again, to generate leads. A lot of people use various like PDF downloads. You go to their website and they have something that says, sign up for this free ebook. And when people first started doing that on the internet, it worked really well because there just wasn't as much information out there. Ebooks were still seen as somewhat valuable, but nowadays ebooks are really a commodity. There's so much information on the internet that if we just want to learn information about something, then we can just Google it or look it up on Wikipedia. So it's not as valuable to your leads, which means they're not as likely to actually opt into your list to get that ebook. So what you want to do instead is give them something that they're going to see as a bit more valuable. There are 3 options that I really love here. The first one would be some sort of online workshop. The second one is some sort of challenge or very short course. And the third one, which is easiest of all, is just a checklist. Now, the reason why I love each of these options so much is because these options will really help you to get results for your leads. So unlike just giving them an ebook, which maybe they get around to reading, maybe they don't, but even if they do, they've just gotten a lot of information and they're not quite sure what to do with it. These things can really guide them towards getting a result, and results are way more valuable than information is. There's tons of information out there, but getting results is much more rare. And if you can get your new leads some result, even if it's just a tiny little result, then they're going to trust you so much more and be much more confident that the product that you eventually pitch to them will actually get them a result. So a workshop, this is sometimes just referred to as a webinar, it's just a free online class. A challenge is normally a few days long or several days long. It's like a course. It guides them through both learning something and taking action on it. And then checklist, I mean, you know what that is. It can be a 1-page PDF. It just walks them through the process of what they need to do to get their result. None of these need to be that complicated, but they are 3 fantastic ways to get your traffic to opt into following you somewhere so that you can then guide them towards that sale. Okay, so the final piece of this process, this leading your traffic towards the sale, is the nurture sequence. So what the nurture sequence is some process, often emails, that warm the customer up and they tell them more information about the product, they demonstrate to the customer what their problem is, and they present the product as a solution to that problem. So like I said, this is most commonly done with emails. Another way that you can do this is with ads. So after someone chooses to say follow you on Facebook or follow you on Instagram, you can then send them a series of ads that are targeted towards them based on when they had chosen to follow you, and then these ads can guide them towards a sale. But those ads are only going to work to actually produce a sale if the person has gone through this process. If they've discovered you somewhere and then they've chosen to follow you and you've gotten them some result, or at least given them some valuable information, and now you're telling them about your product. If you just try to tell them about your product and get that sale from a cold audience, then you're going to have a really hard time, and your conversion rates on that ad, the number of people who actually choose to buy after seeing that ad, will be really low. So your ads will be really expensive. Okay, so this is the basic sales funnel outline. So now what I want to tell you is about how to make each of these pieces of the puzzle into an evergreen or an automated piece so that you don't have to physically go out and tell people about your business and then ask them if they want to learn more and then tell them about your product. Okay, we want to figure out a way to automate this. Then I'm going to get into those 4 tips for how to get the best results with this process. Okay, so traffic, these 2 strategies that I talked about right here, YouTube and being a guest, those are both fantastic evergreen strategies in and of themselves. That's one of the reasons why I like these strategies so much. Once you make YouTube videos, they're on YouTube for a long time to come. People can keep finding them via search. YouTube can keep suggesting them to people. So you do the work once, and then you're gonna continue to get that traffic, continue to get that exposure. Same thing with being a guest. When you write a guest post on someone's blog or when you're a guest on someone's podcast, people can continue to find that content on into the future, which means they'll continue to find your business. Okay, lead gen. So all of these strategies are actually evergreen strategies. Really, most any lead gen strategy would be, because once you make one of these things and you put it on your website, people can continue to go and sign up for it and download it. Let's just talk though about the workshop and the challenge real quick. In order to make your workshop evergreen, you would need to use some sort of automated webinar software so that people can sign up for it at any time and then watch it at any time or regularly scheduled times. Obviously, if you're doing live workshops or live webinars, that won't really be an evergreen strategy. You'll have to keep showing up. And then as far as challenges go, you can set these up inside of your email marketing system so that people can sign up for them and then they can get a series of automated emails that guides them through the process. So those are some ways that you can make those things automated and evergreen. And then finally, with this nurture sequence, email will be a very automated way that you can nurture someone towards a sale. If you're running ads, it's not so much automated unless you are outsourcing to an ads manager who is managing this for you. If you're managing it yourself, then you're gonna have to keep going in there every day or every week to check on things and improve things. So that's just something to keep in mind. And then we already talked about what you need to do to make the product automated and evergreen. You need to make sure that it's a product that can be shipped automatically to your customer without you having to physically mail or provide the service to that customer. Okay, so now you understand how this whole process can work. So now I'm gonna get into these tips to optimize this so that you can make the most money for your efforts. Because building this system, it does require some work, and so I really want you to be paid for that work very well. So my first tip for you has to do with the lead generation process. So you have all these people finding out about your business and you aren't completely in control of who finds out about your business or not, because you're not deciding to tell one specific person about it. You've got this content out there on the internet, tons of people are watching it. Some people who are watching it are your target customers, but other people aren't. And you also might have videos or other content that is about slightly different topics because maybe you sell a few products in your business. So if you really want to have the best result with that exposure that you're getting, then you need to make sure that when people are opting into your email list, when they're becoming your lead, that you really know what to sell them. Because you might be getting leads for multiple products, but you need to make sure that you then nurture them for the correct product. So there are a few different ways that you can do this, but basically you're trying to get your leads to sort themselves. Now, this starts with making sure that your content here, these different opt-in offers, your workshop or your challenge or your checklist, really relates very strongly to this specific product. So for example, if you're selling a course about how to care for houseplants, then you need to make sure that you have a workshop about something that would directly relate to that. Like how to decide what houseplant to buy, or a checklist, for example, of hard to kill houseplants. That is going to tell you those people are interested in buying houseplants, which means that they will likely be interested in your course about how to care for houseplants. So that's the first thing you can do. The second thing you can do is to get your leads to sort themselves after they opt into your list. Now, for the best result, you really want to use both of these strategies together. But you can get your leads to sort themselves by sending them a survey and asking them to answer questions, or by using some sort of survey on your website that they have to fill out before they join your list. You can use a software like WriteMessage or some other survey softwares where people will actually choose what category they fall into or tell you something about themselves before they opt in. And that's going to give you a lot more valuable information that will enable you to know if the product is even right for them, and you'll know what to say to them to show them that the product is right for them. Okay, my second tip also has to do with lead generation. So there are tons of things that you could put out there on the internet that could give people the opportunity to join your email list, but it would be building an email list that's really just a vanity metric. So basically a really big number of email subscribers that don't actually mean anything. Email subscribers that aren't interested in buying what you have to offer. Now, we already talked about making sure that your workshop or your checklist really relates to the product, but if you just give them some sort of content that they consume, they learn something, but doesn't really guide them towards the product, then those people are very likely to just sit on your email list, costing you money, because most of the time you have to pay more the larger your list is, and they're never going to buy anything. So you need to make sure that you're using some sort of lead gen tactic that will truly get them to buy. Now, my favorite ones specifically are the workshop and the challenge. And the reason is because with both the workshop and the challenge, you're going to be interacting with the person who has just opted into your list. So you're going to be presenting the workshop to them. And then at the end of the workshop, you can nurture them right there in the workshop. So you can kind of like cut straight through the step and you can guide them to the product right then. With the challenge, you're going to send them emails every day and they're going to keep opening those emails. And then in the last email, again, you can just slide right into the nurturing. You can transition really easily into nurturing, and then you can transition really seamlessly and smoothly into selling them that product. Unlike if someone signs up for a checklist, where they sign up for the checklist, they get the checklist, and then they never have a reason to open another email from you ever again. So that is tactic number 2 to get the best results, is use some sort of lead gen strategy that will really convert into a sale. Okay, now my third tip for you is going to be kind of inserted right here, and it is using a tripwire, which is something you may have heard of before, or you may have no idea what a tripwire is. Basically, it is a small product, sometimes especially with grocery stores, this might be called a loss leader. It's a product that is offered for less than the cost of the product, or it's something that has a really big value, but you're selling it for a really small price. The reason it's called a tripwire is because imagine if you had some sort of booby trap set up and then you had a line on the ground, and if someone steps on that line or trips that line, then it is going to trigger the whole thing to go off. So basically it's indicating that someone has walked into the territory. Now your tripwire product or your loss leader, it's a product that when someone buys it, it's an indicator that they are very strongly interested in this product, and so that tells you that you really need to nurture them because they are a hot lead. It's also something that really warms them up, and that is the reason why I would recommend using a tripwire. Now, here's how this will work in real life. Someone signs up for your workshop or your challenge, and right after they enter their email address into that form on your website, you've got a form and it says like enter name and enter email right there. Then they get taken to a page after that, and that page is the thank you page. And this thank you page normally just says, thanks for signing up, here's the thing, or the thing has been sent to your email address, or the workshop is happening next week. But what you can do is you can add a special offer onto this page that's like, right now, you can get this thing that's normally $100 for just $3. Okay? And it's a really, really tempting offer. But once someone does that, not only have you made a tiny bit of money, which if you're running ads can help you out, but also you have taken your relationship with that person to another level. Because now you haven't just given them something for free that they're like, this is cool. Now you've had this transactional relationship with them. They've given you money, you've given them something in return, and they can look at that thing that they've bought from you, they can use that thing that they've bought from you, and they can say, wow, your products are really awesome. They really get me results. They're really high quality. And so then when you later are asking them to buy this more expensive product, they're going to trust you a lot more and be a lot more likely to actually purchase that product. Okay, now let me share with you my final tip for how to improve this, tip number 4. So right now with this current system, if someone goes through this whole process, they get down here and they have the opportunity to buy this one product for however much that product costs. Let's say it costs $100. So no matter how many sales you have, they'll never spend more than $100. But this fourth tip is to use something called a value ladder. Basically what this means is that we are going to give them the opportunity to spend more money with your brand if they want to. So after they say yes to this product, if they do in fact say yes, normally they would just be taken to a thank you page. But just like over here, where normally they'd be taken to a thank you page, but instead we gave them a special offer, we're gonna do the same thing right here. So instead of taking them to a thank you page quite yet, instead we're gonna give them a special offer. Now, of course, we do want this to be something that's a good deal and something that they're likely to want, but let's say that we give them the opportunity to buy something else that is an extra $50, but will really help them to get an even better, bigger result, or it will help them solve a problem that maybe they'll have if they have the problem that this first product solves. And then if they say no to this, fine, that's totally fine. We'll just take them to a regular old thank you page that thanks them for buying this thing for $100. But if they say yes, we can take this a step further and offer them an even more premium offering over here. And this premium offering could be one-on-one coaching with you, or it could be a done-for-you service where we say, okay, you wanted to learn how to do this. What if our company just does it for you? Or it could be some sort of event, any sort of premium offer. So let's say that your premium offer over here is $500. Now, of course, these are just example prices, and you don't have to do it in this exact order of a cheaper thing and then a more expensive thing, although this is a way that often works pretty well. So if they say no to this offer at this point, that's totally fine. We'll just take them to this thank you page down here that thanks them for buying this product and this product. But if they say yes to this, then we'll take them to a different thank you page over here. I don't really have any room left, but a different thank you page that thanks them for buying all 3 of these products and gives them access to all 3 of those products. Now, of course, only a small percentage of people will go on to buy this product, and even a smaller percentage will actually buy the most expensive product. But by increasing the average cart value, by making even a few more people spend a little bit more money, your funnel is overall going to make a lot more money, because now your average cart value, instead of being $100, could be $150 or $200. And so that means that for every, say, 100 leads that come through your funnel, instead of making, say, 2 sales and earning $100, now because your average cart value is $150, now you're going to earn $300 instead of $200. And that math will just continue to multiply. Okay, so before we wrap this up, let me just recap those tips real quick. The first tip is to make your traffic sort itself. So after people sign up for your list, give them a survey or something like that so that you have more information about these people who you're selling something to. The second thing is making sure that you're using some sort of opt-in offer that will really convert into a sale, like a workshop or a challenge. The third tip was to use a Tripwire to increase your conversion rate, okay? Because these people have already bought something from you, so they'll trust you more. And then the final tip is to use a value ladder to increase your average cart value so that you make more money on average for every sale that this automated funnel produces. Okay, so now you know a lot about creating an evergreen automated funnel. You really know everything that you need to in order to set this process up. And I hope that you found this video very valuable, very helpful. If you have any questions after having been inundated by all of this information, then feel free to leave a comment down below. Ask me anything about how this process works, how to set it up. I will be happy to help you out. Thanks so much for watching today's video. If you haven't already, make sure you do subscribe to my channel because I make a new video every single week. It comes out every Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific, and I would love to have you join me for the next one. Also, if you found this video helpful, hit that like button to let me know. It will really help me out in the YouTube algorithm, and I would appreciate that little gesture of appreciation if you'd be willing to do that. So thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.